Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasarupaya
Rupaya
Vishnave
Krishna.
Namo Vai
Namo
Brahma
Vaye
Nidhaye
Brahma
Vasishtaya Namo Namaha.
Namo Namah.
Thanks to all of you for joining here today on the auspicious occasion of Guru Purnima, Vyasa Purnima. We are blessed by the presence of Swami Prakashananda Saraswati ji, who
Like,
blessed us exactly 3 years ago during Guru Purnima also. So it is very coincidental. Just 2 weeks back, I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice to hear Swami Prakashananda ji? And then I didn't realize that it was Guru Purnima when he
get
spoke
dark.
last time. And so, uh, let me give you all a brief introduction to Swamiji. Swamiji is from the place of Brahmapur. Brahmapur, some of you may know, it is in today's Odisha, just north of the Andhra Odisha border, Brahmapur, and born in a family, a Telugu speaking family, and from a young age, they were religious, a religious family, Vaishnava. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all were very dear to Swamiji, Swamiji's mother especially, and but then Swamiji's he did join BSc, but he the sannyasa vritti was just waiting. Sannyasa vritti means that inclination, tapasvi inclination, and so he quit BSc, saying this is not for me, and so he said, I want to spend 1 month living with sannyasis. So he went all the way to Narmada, Madhya Pradesh, and he basically was there with sannyasis. Then he realized this is exactly what my life should look like. I cannot go back anywhere. He initially said 1 month trial I want to give. He used this 1 month trial. Like Amazon Prime, 1 month trial, YouTube Premium, 1 month trial is there, no? So like that 1 month trial he went. So 1 month became 1 year. Then 1 year became 6, 7, 8 years, I think. 7 years he was there in Narmada. And so that was his journey. And he was listening to Swami Akhandananda Saraswati ji, who was one of the foremost authorities of Bhagavata Purana. Bhagavata. And his ability to connect to Vedanta was second to none. And so our Pratik Bodhananda ji also learned from Swami Akhandananda Saraswati ji. And so Swami Prakashananda ji went to Vrindavan. And there, as he was studying all this, Swami Ramanand Saraswati ji had told him that, yeah, this is Bhakti Kshetram, Prema Bhumi, And but you know what? You should study. You should study the, Paravidya, Vedantam, Upanishad, all that you study and come. Then your whole life is there for you to be in Vrindavan. Like that, Swami Ramanand Saraswati had told him. So that's how he ended up in Rishikesh, and where he went to study at Kailash Ashram. Then within a year, came to Arshavidya Gurukulam, again Rishikesh only. So he was there, and then from I think in a brief 2 month period, I think he was visiting Rishikesh, and I was also joined that course, Vedanta Sara course in Anekatti in 2008, just 2 months. And so that's when we were staying in the same hostel, in fact, and almost next room, two rooms, adjacent rooms, if I remember. So I had good memories of that camp. And then Swamiji went from there to Nagpur, study the 3 year course, Brahma Prakashanandaji, 2009. And then after that, after finishing that, he came to Anekatti uh, to join the 3 year course that Pujya Swamiji was teaching. And after that, Swamiji went back to Rishikesh, and there, along with Sakshatji, Swami Prakashananda ji taught the 3-year course, 2014 to 2017, 3.5-year course. So, and then along the way, 2015, Puja Swamiji gave him sannyasa diksha, and then continued teaching at Rishikesh ashram itself. Then in 2018, he moved to Hyderabad, continued to teach, and then he was made the Upa Pitadipati of the Buchidas ashram in Yadagiri Gutta, which is near Hyderabad. And then in 2023, he was made the Matadipati of Sri Paramatmananda ashram, which is in the Krishna district of Vijayawada, in the Poranki village. And so that's where he is right now. And Bhaktas visit him often there in the ashram, but he travels a lot to give talks. He feels these days people are willing to listen, people are there to listen to him, but not necessarily in the ashram. So he travels a lot as a result of that. And so last week when I was talking to him, Swamiji was talking about how a person begins teaching, becomes a sannyasi, and eventually it should culminate in the sannyasi leaving the quote unquote job of teaching and being with that person oneself. Like that he was talking. That should be the ultimate culmination of Mumukshu, like that he was saying. So that's why I felt we should listen to him on this journey of a Mumukshu. So please join me in doing a Manasika Namaskara to Swami Prakashananda Saraswati ji. Swamiji,
Oh,
Namaskar.
namaste to all of you. Namaste. Am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible, Swami. You're audible.
Okay. So you will start questioning or how we will proceed then?
Swamiji,
Give me
so
some line. Yes. Yeah, tell
you
me.
were talking to me about how that how a person gets into this journey, and then continues teaching, learns, of course, teaches, and then also the person has to inspire the society by leaving the so-called sannyasa ashrama. Like that you were telling me in the when we were having that conversation. And so
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why
yeah,
I
yeah.
gave the topic of journey of a mumukshu. What can be the journey of a mumukshu? Like that I had in mind, Swamiji. So we would be happy to listen to anything you have to say, Swamiji.
Okay, thank you. So, see, our aim is not to be a teacher, isn't it? So, first teaching happens. It should not be our goal. If in the beginning also somebody teaches, it is not teaching, rather it is sound listening. When I teach, it is a mananam period. First I do sravanam through from my teachers. When I study for several years, then it is a Sravanam period. What exactly Sravanam definition is? Not just Sravanam means literal meaning is just listening, hearing. That is not the real meaning. Real meaning is Tatpara Nirnayam. How far you listen, how many Upanishads you have listened is not, that is not the, it doesn't matter. But whether you listen one Upanishad or you have gone through all the Upanishads, doesn't matter. Whether the Shastra Tatparya Sadaning Linga, Upakram Upasangara, Apurvata Abhyasa Phala, all these Sadalingas are there. Supapatti, all through these Sadalingas, what exactly Shastra culminates at? Whether it is Dvaitam, Advaitam, whatever, because many, through the same Shastra, same Upanishads, somebody proclaims Dvaita is the ultimate, somebody proclaims Advaita is the ultimate, and somebody ends somewhere else. So, through the same Shastra, same quotation, same Upanishad quoting, and they are reaching in other places. So, what exactly is? Because if moksha is my goal, Then Jnana is the Jnana Devatu Kaivalyam. Atmavitat Stokam Tarate. Tameva Viditva Atimritumeti na Anya Pantha Ayanaya Vidyate. All these are there. So Jnanam is the only means. Then what that Jnanam means? Somebody says Advaita Jnanam is the Jnanam. No, somebody says Dvaitam is the final Jnanam. Somebody says Visishta Advaita is the final Jnanam. So there what is first Pramana Shanka. What exactly Pramanam is? What exactly sadhana? Many people do sadhana. Everybody says I am doing sadhana. So what is exactly sadhana? So what is the main sadhana and what are the what do you mean supportive sadhanas? So finally one has to get the clarification that Jnana Devatu Kaivalya. Bhakti, upasana, this meditation, all these are preparation for the mind, no doubt. Then jnana, when comes jnanam is the only means for moksham. Then how I acquire jnanam? Then any jnanam also, local jnanam also, any pramanam is required. So to for this adhyatmik, for this atma jnanam, what is the proper pramanam then? So that pramana vichara, that is what highlighted by Puja Swamiji. Otherwise, many of the sadhus I have seen in the age of in their prime age also, they say Vedanta is a practice, what a theory, and there is something practical. Means we have not seen Vedanta as pramana, isn't it? If Vedanta is a pramana, like eye is a pramanam for color, ear is pramanam for sound, then you don't need any cross reference for, you don't wait for any other cross reference, isn't it? Similarly, Vedanta Upanishad, Vedanta Nama Upanishad Pramana. Upanishad is Pramana. So that Pramana Sanka is need to be first clarified. And once the pramanam is Upanishad is the only pramanam, then okay, that pramanam talks about the prameya. It, what about that prameya? Prameya is Dvaitam, Advaitam, Visishtadvaitam. What is that? So one is Pramanagata Shanka and other is Prameyagata Shanka. So these two things has to be first cleared, isn't it? So in the so Tatparya, if when through that I may study one Upanishad, two Upanishad, through that only I can be come to know that what is the final ultimate message of the Upanishad. Then my Shravanam is over. I need not go through all the Upanishads. So, even through one Upanishad also I am what concluded in a uh, right place. Then that my Shravanam period is over. Then Mananam. Mananam means what? Again and again thinking is not just Mananam. That is, of course, at the same time with logical support. Because human mind, human intellect needs, like when we eat like no rice dish, we need some pickle or some curry. Similarly, curry is not the ultimate, but rice is the ultimate, but supportive. Similarly, human mind needs logical support. Like Brahma Sutra also our Vyasacharya says one the sutra I'm forgetting. Tarkasya Pratishtanadva. So Tarka means logic itself is not a pramana, but the Tarka may help you to assimilate to that the human intellect needs such logical support. So what we have done Savanam through our gurus or Shastra, that has to be interpreted in such a logical manner that the human mind should be, our mind should be able to, our intellect should be able to grasp it. Then that is called Mananam. So in Mananam period, we go through different varieties of tikas, Prakarana Granthas, all are necessary. Different teachers, because which teachers, which talk, which way of explanation may appeal to my mind. So that is the period of Mananam. And then it comes Nididhyasana. Though even I don't have any vagueness in my understanding, but somehow my habits, my way of thinking, my way of conducting, all these are coming on the way. So, like Puja, our Swami Paramarthananda's example, when somebody asked coffee, And sugar is there, but it is not at mixed with, it is underlying. So similarly, Vedanta is in our intellect, in our buddhi, but it is not in our lifestyle still, because that is not like rasa and rasagolla, which is Swamiji's example. Similarly, so what I know and what I am, is there is a little difference. So the difference has to be, that distance has to be taken away. So this is what called Nitidhyasana. Then only the fruit, phalam of jnanam, what is Jivan Mukti. So what is Jivan Mukti? Jivan Mukti, one way we can say like this. So the world doesn't have any impact on me. No, no surrounding, no situations can take my shanti away. That is what the Parama Shanti, isn't it? In spite of all the outer disturbance situation, also a person can be quite content, quite happy, undisturbed. That is what called Jivan Mukti. If if the world can make me happy, and at the same time world also can be able to make me unhappy also. If that is the situation, that is called Baddha Purusa. I am not free enough. So, okay, Jivan Mukta, free means what? No, sir, no. Sometimes I may be with comforts, sometimes I may be without comforts. So, comforts may be little less. Subhidha could be there. But inside me, there is no disturbance. If that is my situation, then I can say myself, I am Mukta, because the world has no impact on me. In Bhagavad Gita's language, we can say, Yan labdhva, na cha aparam labham manyate. यल्लब्ध्वा च परम लाभम मन्यतेन अधिक ततः यस्मिन् स्थितेन दुःखेन गुरुणापि विचाल्यते. So there is no better gain, better labham than this Atma Jnana. Once one has got that Atma Jnana, Atma freedom, then he cannot, there is nothing in the world that can attract him anymore. And there is no more dukkha. Gurunapi, like Meru Parvata, such a dukkha also will appear like a mustard seed to you, because you are so vast, no situation can make you happy nor make you unhappy. Then it is called Jivan Mukta, isn't it? So that is what our goal. Teaching is so Mananam. When I in the Puja Swamiji also, when in the course, after the course, it tells us to teach. So that doesn't mean that we are teachers. We are teaching in order to make our mananam or a sound listening itself. So we don't consider ourselves a teacher, because teacher should not be our goal first. Teaching happens to a mumukshu. My goal is to get that freedom. To realize that no, that inner freedom. Uh, I can say done. World, entire the world should appear me like a what? No, any gain is no more a gain, any loss is no more a gain, no more a loss. Then only Jagat is sapnavat. So that should be the goal of a mumukshu. And teaching happens, the prarabdha. It doesn't, if nobody comes, if you don't teach, it doesn't mean you are not a Jivan Mukta. And if somebody is a very popular in teaching, many students comes to him, so it doesn't mean that he is a Jivan Mukta. So it depends upon the prarabdha, because your prarabdha has to be teach, and other people's prarabdha has to listen from you. So if that is the prarabdham is there, Purva Sankalpa, their prarabdha, their Sankalpa, your Sankalpa, all these things are there, then teaching happens also sometimes. If not also, it is not the criterion to say somebody is Jivan Mukta or not. But the criterion is that the world has no more impact. No, he has quite, okay, you leave him like Ramana Maharshi at a corner of the world, he's quite happy and full. And at the same time, like Swami Dayananji, like Chinmayananji, if they are totally busy in contributing, teaching to the society, then not that they are samsaris, because the vyavahara doesn't impact in them. So either they are So it depends upon different jnanis have their different prarabdha. Like Janaka is Raja, our Durvasa is Krodhi, our Sukadeva is Tyagi. So somebody is ruling kingdom, somebody is leading his life by Viksha. It makes no difference to the Gyanis. There it depends up it their own previous karma prarabdhas and sankalpas. So whatever. So this being so, so their chitta siddhi, jnana doesn't outside your somebody could be ruling, so he has to punish somebody, he has to praise somebody, but inside what? Inside the samatvam, like Krishna, that Parikshita's Parikshita name, how it came. Pariksha is done on him. That's why. What pariksha? Samatvam pariksha. Krishna says from the beginning of the Mahabharata Yuddha, if I have no inclination towards Pandavas and I don't have any what is say dvesam towards Kauravas, raga towards Pandava and no dvesa towards Kaurava. If it is true, then this boy should get life. So this is what the Samatvam. Krishna outside he looks like he's supporting Pandavas and he's as though he's what punishing this Kauravas. No, he is not so. Their karma, Pandavas bhakti, makes Krishna go them that side. And Kauravas karmas, their behavior makes Krishna going away. But Krishna from his heart, he has no raga and no dos, dvesa. How he could a jnani, what he thinks, the entire world is my own what is a projection. Then if entire creation is my projection, my mind's projection, then where should I have any raga and where is the question of any dvesa? So that status should be once every moment and how it should be like Shastra gives a example also. Nahi kshanamapi asupte amrutah kala nayed vedanta chintaya. Nadadyat avasharam kinchit kshanamapi managapi. Even in mind also, for 1 second also, one supposed to not entertain, give the option to entertain the kama krodhadi. Otherwise, again they will come. So, from the asupte till you get to the bed, and amarana till you get the body and gets mrityu, whole time supposed to be in the same practice. Same practice in the sense, all that time, the mananahasa, all that time, thinking Vedanta, talking Vedanta, living Vedanta, what else? After getting this vision, what else can appeal to the mind? If the mind is not ready, the borest thing in the world is Vedanta. And once the mind is ready, there is no other appealing thing than Vedanta. Vedanta is the only, because this is the only truth. Only so after once assimilate, once understood Vedanta properly, the mind naturally abides in this and wants to all the time in this knowledge. And if occasion comes, teaching happens. It is not planning. By planning, it doesn't. Okay, Prarabdha is there. People are coming. I'm teaching in spite. While teaching also, he is in that vision. If nobody is around, still he is enjoying himself. This. So this is how. And shall you ask anything or
Yeah, Swamiji,
Jayakumarji?
sure. Sure, Swamiji.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
any questions that students have, we will request that they ask Swamiji the questions. Swamiji, I will start. So this this idea that yeah, Swamiji, this idea that Krishna, if Krishna did not have any raga for the Pandavas, and if Krishna did not have any dvesha for the Kauravas, this I had heard it differently. something about the gopis. If Krishna did not like the gopis, something like that, there was a story. Then these things will happen, and suddenly, then the river flood will go away. Like that, I had heard. So that idea. See, Swamiji, this is so. When you said it, it is so interesting because I was thinking, bhakti is there on one side and jnanam is there on one side. The mind tendency of the mind is to separate these two. Are you in bhakti marga or are you in jnana marga? This idea, this dividing this thing. But what you said, it looks like there is no such division. It is wrong to. It is wrong means, of course, a jnani will not make the division. But I wanted to hear your thoughts, Swamiji, on that topic. Swamiji, if you can unmute yourself, if you can unmute yourself.
So again, I will clarify this point. This story about this gopis, that is to giving the Naishkarmya Siddhi. Krishna is how akarta, abhokta. So that is what the story goes. Like once they Guru Purnima days, Krishna told them one week previously, I am going to see my Guru, so that day I am not available. Then they asked, do you have a Guru? Of course I have a Guru. So shall we have darsana? He told, okay, you go yourself. You don't come with me. I will go with alone so that I can have a talk discussion with my Guru. So you people also can go. You together, you people go in a group. Then they told, okay, suppose somebody should not visit empty-handed to a guru, to a king. That is what they say. So everybody carried fruits, dry fruits, sweets, all these things they carried. And while they are, so it is this rainy days, so river was flooding. Then they asked Krishna, how shall we, because no boatman is ready to ride my boat. Then he told, okay, I will give you a mantra. You tell that Yamuna that our Krishna is Avala Brahmachari, Akhanda Brahmachari. If that is true, then please give us the way. Then river stopped and they walked on the river and reached there. And after going to the Guru, they offered all this prasadam, taken baskets of, and he ate Durva Sarusi. He completed all these things, even did not left out a little of prasadam to them. And then he told, okay, you go away. Then they went and the river is again flowing. Then they asked, how will you go? That same mantra. Then how did you come? Krishna had given a mantra. Then now it is not working. Oh, now you are from my side, going from my side, so it may not work. So I will give you a mantra and try on this. Then he told her, tell that Yamuna, if Durvasa is Nityopavasi, from the birth today, he has not eaten, not drink anything. If he is Nitya Upavas, it is what the true, then give us the way. Then the same thing happened. Then they were when they reached Krishna, they tell Krishna has done with mischief with anybody or not. Each gopi knows what he has done mischief with themselves. So how can Krishna can be Nitya Brahmachari with 16,000 gopis? And Durvasa in front of us, he just consumed all our basket full of sweets and fruits and dry fruits. And he says, Nitya Bhavasi, how it could be? Then Krishna says, this is what the secret of our Guru Sishya Jnanam. This is what Naiskarmya Siddhi. So karma doesn't touch us because we know what akarta bhokta. So for that, this example is given. This gopis. And that is what our Pandav Parikshita name, Parikshita Raja Parikshita, because Pariksha is done on him. That's why Samatva, Krishna's Samatva Pariksha is done. When this Guru Dronacharya's son was brought out, because he killed five of the Pandavas sons. So that time, this our their mother Arjuna's daughter-in-law, Uttara. Uttara says, give him. You don't punish the Brahmana. After all, his Guru son. So then Krishna told, oh, in this situation also you have the samatvam. Then see my samatvam also. Then that is what the samatva pariksha, the parikshita name is given to. And the jnanam and bhakti, see, really what happens, the more and the jnana more increases, more and more you are aware, more and more you grow towards jnanam, then what happens? What is the significant? What is the sign of your jnanam is growing? So jnanam grows means day by day your jnanam grows. It implies the vairagyam grows toward the sansara and the prema grows towards Bhagavan. The jnanam, when jnanam grows, if your love towards the ultimate, the love towards the Sarvatma Chaitanya is not increasing, you are not enjoying Atmaneva Atmana Trupta, the Trupti doesn't come, means what type of jnanam it is then? So jnana, day by day jnanam grows, you are growing towards jnanam, means you are day by day you are enjoying that Atma Drishti, no, that grows day by day. And vairagyam towards the vishayas. Vairagyam in the sense, you have no more like childhood days. We were playing with toys. We were fighting with our colleagues, our brothers and sisters with one toy for one toys. Now, if some which day you have now we have grown out. Therefore, you have got vairagyam towards the toys. Which day you got vairagyam towards the toys, you say? No, that is, you cannot say. Because you grown, therefore toys became insignificant. Similarly, you are so vast, your heart is so vast, your mind is so vast that includes the entire creation. Therefore, small some losses, small some gains are no more gain, no more losses. So the love, the mind always dwells, it attracted automatically goes towards that vision, that vision. Therefore, that is what called bhakti, the prema, going the mind has started enjoying each moment of that vision. Is what bhakti, and it is getting natural vairagyam towards. I don't need much worldly things, wings, situations. They are, let them where they are. So you are independent of the worldly situations, people, relations, situations. So that is what called vairagyam. No, vairagya means not that giving away, but in your heart there is no more attraction towards. They have no more place in your, no more value in your place. I am yellow. I am in the kingdom also. I am okay. At the forest also I am okay. So that is what called vairagya. So the when you grow in the knowledge, the in the beginning vairagyam is maintained by efforts, but later it is just spontaneous. Vairagyam is spontaneous. And similarly, the attraction towards the vision is grows more and more and more. So person looks like, unless there is any urgent, unless there is necessity, why should I talk to anybody? Why should I distract myself? So every moment I enjoy with myself. Let me give, allow me to stay in one place. I will be whole week. I will be enjoying with myself. There is no. I don't need anybody to talk. I do not do. Don't need anything to enjoy. I'm quite okay with myself. So that type of atma priti, atma love should grow by day, and that is what called bhakti. So jnanam increases. It implies atma bhakti increases, and jagat vairagyam also increases. Vairagyam towards samsara. I am emphasizing again and again. Vairagya doesn't mean that you, with how many people, how many, where you are. And so inside the heart is vairagya. Okay, the prarabdha, because prarabdha depends. You, even if you want to lead a sannyas life, somebody, it cannot. Prarabdha is not there. It cannot. And somebody wants to get a kingdom also, it cannot come without just by desire. So he must. Janaka has the prarabdha to rule the kingdom. So in spite of the ruling kingdom, he has no interest in that. And Sukadeva, he has the prarabdha to be in bhiksha. So he was enjoying, oh, I have no kingdom. He's not so. He's quite happy with his vision. So the prema and jnanam is no different thing. Bhakti, jnanam, vairagyam. Bhakti means prema. So prema, jnana grows, it implies bhakti grows. And vairagyam also grows towards samsara. But what happens us? our prema grows towards samsara. Vairagyam towards Bhagavan and Vedanta. It should jokingly.
Vairagyam towards
Uh,
Vedanta, Swamiji.
Vairagyam towards Vedanta and Ragam towards samsara. It should not happen. So,
So that's good,
uh,
Swamiji. So Vairagyam, Jagat Vairagyam, Samsara Vairagyam, accompanied by or parallelly the love towards oneself. Because the love towards oneself
ah,
cannot come
one,
without jnanam, it can't come anyway. So
ah,
that process, that is what you are referring to as bhakti.
yes, yes. Bhakti means Sarvatma Chaitanya is the only Paramatma. So that Sarvatma Chaitanya is which is nothing, no difference for me from me. And mind always the mind. The Bhakti means what? The mind doesn't want to go anywhere outside unless there is some necessity. So it always wants to be with the Chaitanya Atma, Brahmakara Vritti. So that is what natural love towards myself.
Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you, Swamiji.
And
Thank you.
slowly it should go and it should grow to that level. Shankaracharya our, in Vivek Chudamani gives the example like when we make put a garland on the cow's neck, so the flower garland, so when the cow walks, when it fell down, it makes no sense to that cow because it's so insignificant. So when it fell down, no, it doesn't have a notice. Similarly, this body, a jnani, how he lives, he is such a busy with his the Atma Chaitanya, his Brahmakara Vritti. He all the time with that Brahmakara Vritti. And when this Sarira fell down, he doesn't even he had no notice towards this body. Such a situation, stage should come, isn't it? So
Yes, Swamiji.
Vyavahara is okay, some Prarabdha is okay, but our emphasis should be because Abhyasa, in the beginning it needs Abhyasa. Later, in spite of all this, the Muksha Vritti, because our Panchadashikara gives example like the women in the village, they carry on the water pot after pot after pot, but their main Vritti is in that pot. They walk, talk, they joke each other, laugh, everything. But this pot, water pot doesn't fall down because it is in that they keep the balance, they maintain the balance. So their main vritti is there in spite of their talking. In similarly, Jnani also, everybody, the worldly people, they come to you, so everybody you cannot talk to Vedanta. So what they like Krishna, to the children he talks like a children, to gopis he talks like a gopi, to the old people, to the politician, whatever the what type of people are coming, he will be talking to them accordingly. But his own vritti where it is. So Jnani has to, his main vritti has to be maintained in the uh, Advaita Drishti. And these are secondary. The Ruchi is no more. First, in the beginning, Satya, Sansara was Satyam. Therefore, the wholeheartedly he was doing the Vyavahara. Now, the wholehearted, that is like the main heart is gone towards that, like Gopis. The Gopi and Bhagavata complain. Uddhava when goes to them and teaches, then say, oh, Uddhava, you would have come little earlier because now you are too late. We had one mind and that is gone behind Krishna. So second mind, from where will you bring to listen your Upadesa, your Siddhanta? He says first you should be Purva Uttara Abhimukhi, then you do Achamanam, then you do Japam, all these things. Now we don't have that mind to bring. One mind we had, that is gone with that Brahmakara Vritti. So that should be the uh, what enjoyment of the Brahmakara Vritti.
Thank you, Swamiji.
So,
Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you.
oh, more.
Yogi ji
What
is there.
else? Yogi ji?
Swamiji
Which
Pranam.
Yogi ji? Pranam. Yeah, your
Swamiji,
video is not. Tell me, tell me.
uh, how we can maintain this samatvam between Jnana Marga and karma, because we are in the Vyavaharik Satta, Jagat is there. So we have to do something for the livelihood. So maintaining the samatvam between this Gyan marga and karma. So give some guidance, Swamiji.
Swamiji, if you can unmute yourself. Swamiji, if you can unmute yourself.
Like see, in a family, this is one more example is given. A mother has 3, 4 children. Then one is in fever. And so the next day morning he asks breakfast. Then mother doesn't give any breakfast to him. He has to starve one day. Upavasam he has to do. Then other son is working in the farmer. So he gives him his food is differently. One son is going to the office. So for his tiffin is differently. One is getting prepared for the exam. So his food is going to be milk, curd, like things. So because his activity is brain activity. The first one was a farmer, so he has to do the farm activity. So you can't. They each one's work is different. So the mother may be giving different food to different people, different sons, but the love towards each is one, because the one who is in a fever, if he eats food again, his fever will grow. So mother not giving food also is love, isn't it? So what we
Yes.
do in vyavahara is secondary. Intention inside. What even a teacher slaps to the children, students, also out of love. If nowadays teachers cannot give slap to the students because these government's rules and things, at the same time the love is no more. The teacher, the student he has no respect towards the teachers, and teachers also no more responsibility towards the student. That is what happening today. And olden days, our days, the teachers used to give us slaps, so that today we are what we are. So in their slap also, love is there. So a jnani, because he sees he understood that everything is nothing but myself, my Chaitanya, Panchabhuta, whoever Satru, Mitra, you see, analyze, what is that? The body is Panchabhuta, is Ishvara, and Chaitanya is one. So what is difference? And even if the Mrityu he sees, the Shatru also is myself. In Bhakti Marga also you see, the Shatru also is in Bhagavan's Roop. If there is no Shatru in my life, I will be careless. If there is no disease in my life, again I will be careless. So diseases makes me careful. Satrus makes me careful. Even death makes me careful. So what is not Bhagavan? In Bhakti Marga, you see everything is Bhagavan. When we see through our tunnel vision, no, small vision, then it is mine and it is others. If you analyze, so everything is Ishvara and Jnana, Drishti, Jnanamaya Kritva, Pascha Harireva Jagat. So Drishti, both mind and, because human being has got two personality. One is intellectual personality, one is emotional personality. So we need to engage both of them. So in intellectual, the Vedanta, everything through Vedanta, what I understood intellectually is everything one and myself. And the emotion, one intellectually understood, but emotion is not engaged. It will be again in the worldly ragadvesa. So emotionally also one has to understood that everything, even Satru, Mitra, all these things are my Bhagavan's Leela. Same Bhagavan through the Triguna, he looks like Satru Mitra. Same Brahma through the Indriya and senses and Guna, he appears as the world. So in the world there will be Tamaguna, so Satru, he looks like Tamaguna, somebody in Jnani, he is Sattva Guna. So there should not be raga towards anybody, there should not be this, really dvesa towards. So Vyavahar could be there. A Raja also, if somebody does good thing, he has to praise him. Somebody does anyaya, he has to punish him. But inside the heart, how can we see? Once he understood intellectually, Vedanta is Pramana properly understood, he cannot be able to do dvesa anymore. Like you sometime in our finger toy, our something, some nail injured. Our suppose our leg is injured. In one finger of our toy is injured, and when doctor says if it has to be cut down, disconnect to the body, otherwise it will the cancer will grow more. Then what you say? We disconnect. We ready to cut the finger once. Sometimes we are ready to cut the feet itself. Still love. Because in order to protect the entire body, even a small part of the body has to be sacrificed. Is it okay? Similarly, if Dvesa, Krishna kills these thousands of Kauravas in order to save the entire humanity. Otherwise, these dacoits will grow, then it will be quite difficult for to others to live. So, in the love also, he can do the operation. When the doctor operates the makes the operation to the treatment to the patient, even though blood is running, he is cutting the body, still out of love to save the. So intention is what matters, not what you do. So sometimes we do outer things good, but intention is wrong. That is samsara. When sometimes a mere person has to mean any vyakti, any jnani also sometimes may occur wrong some things, but intention is right. So there is no loss anymore. So intention matters. So Prarabdha is there where everybody need not be a sannyasi. Wherever Bhagavan has kept us, because the Runana Bandha has to fulfill. So, okay, wherever Bhagavan, my Prarabdha has kept me, I will be. The body is there. But my mind is, nobody can control my mind. My mind is gone with that Advaita, that vision. So, that Chaitanya, Brahmakara Vritti. So, practice. In the beginning, it may need little practice. Later, it feels like when a fish, when you bring out the fish from the water, how feels like without Brahmakara Vritti, you will feel like with the Brahmakara Vritti, everything you will be doing. Maybe in the beginning, maybe the gap is a little 2-3 minutes you may forget. That's gap slowly, like our Swamiji gives the example in a lining on the rock and a line drawn on the sand and a line drawn in the water and a line drawn in the sky. So in the beginning, in the rock, it may stay for years. In sand, it may for from days. And water just it is seen and gone. And akasa, it is not even seen. Similarly, the chittam of a jnani becomes, in the beginning, I fought with somebody, that dvesa remains for 2 days. The raga remains for 2 days. Later, just appears and goes. And again, more you progress, it is not even a line just. So that is practice takes padam that sloka comes na Acharya padam adatte padam to sabrahmachari vya padam to swamedhaya sisyasya. But one more padam from kala kramena, it comes through time. So
Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you.
and what?
Thank
Om
you.
Pranam.
Thank you, Swamiji.
So thanks, welcome for all the Guru Purnima, best wishes for Guru Purnima. I will be also busy today, my Guru Purnima program here. So nice
Thank
to, in the early
you.
morning, we celebrated a nice Guru Purnima. Thank you to all. So, okay, in between also, not necessarily Guru Purnima, in between also when your classes are going, sometime I can be joining also. Sometime you can, some questions, whatever questions you can ask, and I will try to give it.
Definitely, Swamiji. Swamiji, we have 2 more questions, Swamiji. Do you have time
Yeah.
for 5 more?
Yeah, I have time, but perhaps my app is not a paid app. So in 40 minutes, it may disconnect. Again, I will reconnect. Okay, carry on.
Okay. So, Rameshji, go ahead.
Swamiji,
Yeah, tell.
we have covered various topics very nicely. And my question is, what is the purpose of life? How do you attain? What is the purpose of life and how do you attain it?
And I'm not getting the word purpose of life, love, or what you say.
What is the purpose of life?
Oh, purpose of life. Purpose of life is to our Sakhya Swamiji is Puja. Sakhya Swamiji is statement, if you will enjoy, my purpose of life is to discover that there is no more purpose in my life. I need my free will. I exercise my free will to that extent that tomorrow I don't need any free will anymore, because nothing makes me difference. Whatever happens in the world, and Puja Swamiji also quotes that way. The amount of freedom you give to the world is what your freedom. Generally, what you do, you control the world in order to be happy. It doesn't work. Rather, let the world to be on its own way. I am quite full. So that is what could be the vision, purpose of life, to be oneself free from, make oneself free from this worldly control. Is what the goal should be, the goal of the life. Why should like our remote in the TV screen, what whether it is football will come, cricket will come, news will come, cinema will come, somebody decides. So similarly, in my life, shall I cry, shall I jump, shall I be celebrating? Who decides? The world decides. Then I'm like a dumb, like a TV screen. Then what is the purpose? No, I don't give my remote to the world. The world cannot make me happy, nor it can make me sorrow. So I am happy. I decide to be cry. Rama cries. So in crying also, you people go to the cinema, pay to the cinema ticket, and go there and cry. So in crying also there is happiness. In crying also you happiness, because you choose to be cry. You choose to cry. So in your choice, crying also enjoyment. And if you don't, if it is in others' hand, that is paradhine, sapane sukhanai, isn't it? So paradhina and swadhina. Swadhina is what? Moksha. That is what? Freedom. So my life,
You're
shall
telling that
I?
attaining
Uh,
the moksha is the purpose of life?
yes, being, that is the like swasa. Without taking oxygen, how I cannot live even for a second. Similarly, without gaining my what I am, without knowing, without making myself happy from this, making free from the clutches of the nature, how can we? What can I stop anywhere? So first duty of
Swamiji,
myself, my first
Swamiji,
duty is.
you brought a very interesting and important topic here. Who am I?
Hmm.
How do you
Who
know?
am I? First, who am I? How do you know? Means it will go for a longer. So first thing is my life. First, making my life in my clutches. So what happens now? Even if I'm enjoying, it is not in my hand. The situations, the surrounding makes me happy. Surroundings make me cry. So my life, in fact, nobody lives their life. I can say challengingly, I can say people are not living life. They are dragging the life. Oh, I have to wear this way because the world wants everything the others wants. So my life is decided by others. So what type of life I'm living? Am I living a life? No, I'm dragging a life. One should live their life. Every moment one should enjoy. So that is what Vedanta gives. Without Vedanta, like without oxygen, one cannot live. Without Vedanta, one cannot live. Everybody drags their life. Only life starts after understanding Vedanta, I can say. A real life living, the way of living, it comes only after understanding Vedanta. So how can I sometimes I surprise, how can people drag the entire life without this vision? Yeah, so that should be the
Very,
goal of
very
life.
difficult to
It is.
answer that. Who am I? The way you answered it, very smart. Who am I is like a Atma.
So rather
But
than asking
yes,
that question, sorry, 1 minute. So generally, that Raman Maharshi orientation, who am I? So I will put other way, not how am I? Who am I? How am I? Actually, what is my real nature? Exactly what I am, how I am. So one if discovers exactly finally what who am I? So who means what? What type of my nature is? How exactly what is my real nature? How I am I? Yeah.
that's very good. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Oh, oh,
Thank you.
what else? Anybody else? Somebody is raising hand.
Yeah.
Bhagyas,
Narayanan,
carry on.
Narayanan and Meera. Yeah, you unmuted, no?
Somebody raised, somebody raised a hand, Bhagyam or somebody. Carry
Yeah.
on, somebody.
It was Dr. Ramesh. He just spoke, Swamiji.
He just spoke, Swami.
Okay, okay.
Swamiji,
Meera and
thank you very
okay,
much.
time discuss.
So, Swamiji,
Okay, welcome.
Swamiji, what
Tell
is the
me.
program? Guru Purnima program is over, Swamiji, where you are there?
No. It will start by 9 o'clock. Start whole till 4 o'clock. People will be coming, and there will be talk. But this is on North Guru Purnima day. They will visit the Guru at least in this day. They has to visit. So one of my Shishya, you can say, is a sannyasi. So he's in 100 acres. He's making ashram. So that place today's program is kept in from 100 kilometers from Hyderabad.
Okay.
So there will be 30 to 40,000 people gathering today by 11 o'clock. Now people will start coming, and talk will be there. All talk and personal meeting. People will talk will be 1.5 hours. Rest of the time they want to Guru Purnima. They personally they want to see Guru. So this is what the culture here.
That's so nice, Swamiji. So people will be coming mostly from Hyderabad. It looks mostly from.
Surrounding. So that today I will finish here, and tomorrow I will go to my area Vijayawada. So two different places, 2 days a different place.
Okay.
Tomorrow I will celebrate there. So
thank you very much, Swamiji, with your busy schedule in Hyderabad and on the day of
morning,
Guru Purnima day.
morning.
All sannyasis are
Guru
busy. Sannyasi busy day is Guru Purnima day, and so on that day it's to talk to us.
Yeah.
So we are so happy about it.
Okay, all best wishes
Shall
of
we-
Guru Purnima to all of you.
Shall we
tell me.
have the daily prayer for world peace and harmony?
Yeah, so Swamiji can go. Swamiji is busy now, so we will thank Swamiji and Swamiji. Thank you very much, Swamiji.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome for calling. Oh, thank you.
We would
Okay,
like
shall
to
I quit now?
invite you, Swamiji, for Q&A, and like you said,
Okay.
we will do that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Shall I
Swamiji.
quit now? Oh,
Yes, Swamiji.
welcome.
Thank you, Swamiji. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Namaste to all.